I showed that many tropical countries, many Muslim countries have fair or moderately fair skin, meaning the damage component is still there, very high, and then the radiation impact is 10 times. We don't have the time to discuss technical side, but we look at this, and I explain this in a paper. So this is an important issue actually for tropical countries, for developing countries, and this is what we started to research. And we set up a center. I was lucky, I had a very good vice chancellor at that time. He gave me the highest point in USM, is the one that I got for my building, Atmospheric Science Research Unit. And we can overlook the Penang Bridge. If you come from the Penang Bridge, the number 1, then you are facing the unit. And we set up these facilities and we conducted this research. This is an expensive project, but Malaysia could do. And we managed to do these things. And it brought a lot of international actually recognition for Malaysia. So this is, I was invited to by Margaret Thatcher, the Prime Minister, for a ministers conference, and they invited me to address. Our minister was there as well. They were very happy, the first session. We also had a dinner thing with Prince Charles that time because he's very fond of environmental issues. So it brought us that kind of recognition. The opening session, actually they invited me as one of the people from developing countries. And then it led to Malaysia signing the ozone layer protection treaty after that conference, after we had discussed it. And also USM project was actually mentioned at the Malaysian Parliament. And we did many activities. I brought the United Nations Environment Program group to Perlis at the palace. We had a meeting for them. We also organized a very high-powered UN conference in Penang. And we were fortunate to have the Prime Minister, the Prime Minister of that time, and the Prime Minister of the future. And we had other dignitaries. We had this is Professor Roland on your left side, meeting with the Prime Minister, who discovered the ozone, CFC impact of ozone depletion, Hakisan-Lapisan ozone. We also had Joe Farland from UK, who actually discovered the Antarctic ozone also. This was all very high-powered system, and that we organized this conference, and everybody from over the world actually came to Penang. Myself, I also received recognition through this Nobel Peace Prize for IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, and Malaysia. And Malaysia also appreciated, and they said that he was doing a good job. And I think this was good for the country, this was good for the state finance, this was good for the institution USM. So I think what I'm trying to show that this can be done. And another issue that was of course close to my heart, as you know, is about Ibn Falak. So I wrote a book which is Islamic Astronomy and Science Development. And this book also was published as part of the Minda Dr. Mahathir Mohamad when he retired, as a collection of small set of books. So this lays the foundation for Ibn Falak, reasons why we should do it, why it is a do and die, why Imam Ghazali say this is for the fire, and that community must have people that can actually handle it as we set it. So this led to the setting up of our Pusat Falak Sekta. I believe this is the first time in 200 years that a Pusat Falak was initiated, observatory concept. And from that, we had many setups in Malaysia. After that, we had Terengganu, we followed in Sarawak, we had other places. And other countries also have taken this initiative. So it has led to, I think, very positive development. And I'm sure there are more people who know about Ibn Falak than it was last time 50 years ago. Then we come to calendar, which really has taken our interest, our effort into this dimension. And this is where I spend a lot of my time. Not only finding the solution, but actually implementing the solution. So like Montreal Protocol is about implementing the decisions of how to stop Hakisan-Lapisan ozone. So we cannot use CFCs, we must find alternatives. Governments signed the treaty, like I mentioned, Malaysia signed that time. So the same principles we use to implement. So solution was in 1984. I know after 8 years, there is a film called Hidden Figures. It's an American documentary about NASA launching the first astronauts into space. And there is this other girl that does this mathematics, and she says that I work like dog day and night. This is one of the things. And so actually I was working day and night until we got this book. And I felt that was done. We found a solution and Muslims can go ahead and do it. And in fact, even before that, my first publication of the 200 papers in Ilmu Falak that I have published, the first article was actually in Utusan, Malaysia, di mana anak bulan boleh kelihatan. And the reason is this simple. If I want to get people to understand, you have to reach out to the people who matters. So if I write in English that time, but I need Ustad, I need Dato support, I need Jakim or Fusa Islam support that those days. And those people actually baca Utusan Malaysia. I think Berita Harian not so well known at that time. This is 1978. And it is still, I think it is the best writing I have done in my entire life. It summarizes everything that I have done in 25 books that have been published. Everything is actually there, the elements were there. And so eventually we realized for implementing we have to bring Muslims together from different countries, from within Malaysia, and we have to agree to some resolutions, adopt things. And so we organized one of these first conference, world conference, that was OIC was there, Comstack also came, IFSTED also came, Rabita Al-Alam Islam Abdullah Nasir came, and we had many organizations, and we were supported by MA, say we can give you 3 tickets. We are supported by Yadim, Yakim, of course Buddha Islam, of course state government, and many organizations. Because people felt that this is something new, something different, and that is something good for the community. And alhamdulillah, we had good responses, and from that we also organized in many other places, in Rabita Al-Alam Islami, also recently in Dubai. And so many resolutions have come, and lot of, you can read in the newspapers, a lot of exposition in Malay, in English, in the newspapers, Britarian, Utusan, and all this. So it is to reach out to people who matter, and as the famous saying is, people don't agree what they don't understand. Meaning to say, if you want people to understand what you are talking, you have to communicate with them to make them understand. I think that's the purpose, that you communicate and understand. And then we initiated a process, not simple, step by step, 4-step process from chaos to organized thing. Until eventually, for instance, in Malaysia, we say we are going to implement this Imkane Ruya system, it's called it, Unified Islamic Calendar, Imkane Ruya system, 1995 we said, and we had this OIC adopted something, Saudi Arabia adopted a resolution through the Shura Council of and other countries, I think, for also. And this is in the process, some books to establish the reference, some books to make use of information or provide the data, and some are translated into several languages. In Arabic, of course, Dewan Bhasa was very good for translate some books. They've been published in full color, although Dewan Bhasa doesn't do it. And they even published one of my books in English, which is unusual, but they say, I think it will help your objective to communicate with people. So alhamdulillah, these things have sort of taken place. And this is the structure, if I summarize in the last 50 years, is the resolutions at different conferences, is the seminars we have organized, and activities that have been taken up along in various things in order to see the implementation. As a result, the result is this. So last time, 70 years ago, you know that Americans have 900 bases around the world. So if Muslims are going to sight the moon, they probably need 3,000 places. Every country, every city, every state has different sort of 70 years ago we are talking about, or before. And our idea is to bring this to a fewer places to sight by using the system of Imkani-Ruya, using the same criteria. Number 2 is using the Ikhtilaf-e-Mutaliq concept that is from Sharia. And so now we have like 5 places, 1 criterion, 4 variations. What we are aiming for is to go forward and probably use 1 primary place and 1 prime criterion. I think this is really the process that goes into it. So this is, I think, we're coming to summarize this. So I mentioned that as Islamic astronomy lays the foundation for developing and reviving ilm falak for the community in the long run and dealing with modern issues, modern considerations. And then the other one that I mentioned, we can do it again. Actually, way back I had looked at it, but we felt we should narrow first and test the ground. So we tested the ground in Falak, there is a very good response, and now we are saying maybe we can go into it. There is another group that I have been working for last 50 years, Lima Prof. And now it is coming up. It's not yet ready for me, but I think it should be done. But this we can do it again, and that in Falak, these are like within that concept that we can rise. We have to look at the economic, geostrategic concept and see that this can be actually initiated at some point. And we must understand, if you want to do science and technology, you must understand the geopolitics, the problem that we face, Muslim world versus everybody else. So this is what has happened. What Malaysia has done, we have done a couple of things.